You are now with Demigod.
I put too much lime in that water.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's way too much lime. There's a tad bit too much lime.
Is it too tart?
Yeah. A little bit too tart.
Why you just said tart like that?
She said tart, so I said tart.
Chris Shaw said that shit sexy as hell just now. He said it's a little too tart.
I'm speaking to my listeners, my listeners.
Who's that?
I don't know. I'm gonna start getting a little fan.
It's Collar Chris
I'm
today.
trying to get the fan page going.
He says Collar Chris.
Yeah.
Cc. That's his name for this episode.
Call me senor.
Name of this episode is Cc&Thegang. Chris got his collar on today.
Are the mics
Nice
on?
and fitted too.
I don't. What happened?
So
Facts.
nice and fitted too.
You know
Jeans
what I'm
cuffed up.
I've been lifting now.
I'm over here looking like a hangout at Wawa. Going on the back of this. Harley Davidson. Bro, have you ever driven past a Wawa on a July night?
On
At any point in the summer?
a July night?
Why
Yeah.
gotta be July?
Why July?
I'm just saying, like in the summer, at any point. Have you driven past a Wawa at night?
The bikers
Probably.
be out there.
Lit
Well, we
tea.
got one right here
Bro, Wawas get lit for no reason, bro.
at like
Yeah.
2:00 after
They
the
do.
club.
No, it'd be like 9 o'clock. They be pulled up, bro. Pickup trucks.
Nah, this one right here.
Yeah.
There
Flags.
should be
Active
mad
right here.
people. There.
Active, bro.
Yeah. One in
Active.
Garfield, there be mad
Car
people
meets,
there.
all of
yeah.
that.
And kudos to them, bro. I ain't never see y'all end up on World Star. Shout out to all the Wawa goers, man.
At least y'all keep it classy.
Facts. That shit is crazy, bro.
Oh my god.
How everybody doing, man?
Good.
Are you
Got the mics
recording?
hot? I gotta pull up the
We always hot, man.
I gotta pull up the You guys cool with the current events?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
three?
Look-
Alright, cool. Everyone saw them?
You dropping a verse on this episode?
Y'all want me to? I gotta take the glasses off for that though.
And you gotta pop the
Yes,
collar.
If we gonna if I'm gonna rap, you know what I'm saying? We gotta do this shit correct. You know what I'm saying?
It got the real on
I gotta
it.
come
I'm
to
just
correct.
I ain't gonna
kidding.
front. I'm gonna let you handle the intro. Go ahead.
Want me to do the intro now?
Yeah.
Alright.
I need some rhymes in there somewhere.
Alright, let's get it. So everybody ready? Everybody ready? Welcome back to another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. We have a special episode today. This is the Garfield episode.
Whoa.
You knew he was
said I
gonna
got it. Wait,
violate.
time out. You can't say I got it.
Lay, what do we say?
You
should've
knew
known
he
that
was
was
gonna
coming.
violate though.
You knew he was going
You
like.
can't-
and you
you-
put him in charge.
He's talking about
so
he's talking
that's-
about Garfield the
that's
cat.
your
We,
fault.
You can't let me say
we're going over the
fault.
movie.
I got this.
Oh, God.
So it's your co-host Christian Lopez. We got a wonderful episode today with a special guest. But before we introduce them, introduce some of my co-hosts to the left of me.
It's your boy Santi Daya, aka Demigod. You know, we back here on another day where we happen to be in Garfield, but we're discussing topics that don't got to do with Garfield. So, welcome back to another episode of Demigod Chronicles.
Hey, it's your girl Lay. Here back another week with my brother Men. You know, it's been some time, so I'm happy to be back.
Facts.
Feels good.
Yeah, and today we have a very special guest from Garfield, New Jersey. I really respect this man and the things he does because
Appreciate you.
especially when I moved back home from college
Yeah.
about 3 years ago. First time I went on Instagram since I did. And the moment I get on Instagram, I started looking at what people were doing, catching up on people. And I saw what you and your group were doing. Like,
Yeah.
you guys were following your dreams. You guys were actually doing it. You were pushing it. You were putting out projects. You guys were actually doing it every day. And you guys were all promoting each other. And you guys were so tight together. And I saw just the art you were posting, some of the pictures you were taking. And I was, we started talking from that because I'm like, wow, like, here's someone from my city who's actually doing it. And to me, that's so amazing because we have so many people who say they want to do something,
Mhm.
but they never get around to do it. You know what I mean? And every time I talk to you, you're always working on something. When you showed me your photos before, it's like you're getting better at what you do on your craft. So, I want to take the time to give you your flowers, have you on the show,
Appreciate
and
you,
also have a
bro.
time to talk to you, man.
Appreciate
So,
you.
without further ado, please welcome J.I.
Uncle Jay and Uncle
That's
J.I.
good.
all of that was good, bro.
Good.
I appreciate y'all now for sure. I definitely appreciate y'all for letting me come up here, show some love and all that, and talk about whatever we about to politic about.
Yeah, man. We got a great show. We got some great topics we can get into later. We're gonna talk about some of the projects that you're working on.
Mhm.
So, man, it's great, man. How you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling blissful. I've been feeling real, like, I don't know, like, you know how you get to the end of the year and it's kind of like you just be like,
Yeah.
taking in all the blessings that you had, all the love that you had, and it's
Right.
like you just want to finish out the year strong.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much like what I've been doing lately. Like I had shoots yesterday, all day yesterday too. So it's just like I just been trying to get my last work in
Yeah.
until next year.
Do you guys plan out the next year that's coming?
I try to at least plan the first year, and
Mhm.
then I'll probably set like a goal or two for the year after that.
Okay. What about you guys?
I don't know if it's necessarily planning. I kind of just
Hmm.
make a checklist in my head. Shit, I'm trying to get
Kind of
done.
like that, yeah.
Okay.
But I won't say like by this time I want to do this or by this time I want to do this.
Mhm.
It's kind of just like I'll put myself on notice and I'll be like, I gotta get this done. You know?
Okay.
I plan.
I was gonna say I plan too.
Yeah, I'm too like, if I get out of schedule, then I won't do it. Like if I'm not consistent that one day that I'm off, I'm just gonna say fuck it. So like I have to plan exactly what it is I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
See, like I like to like write the goals by the quarter. So like I know for like the first 3 months I want to accomplish this. By the second 3 months I want to accomplish this. By the fourth quarter I want to accomplish this. Like obviously they don't always happen that way.
I was about to
Right.
say,
Yeah, it
like,
never does. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I think this thing said like only 7% of people actually write down their goals. And, like it increases your chance of accomplishing them by like 80%. So like just the fact that you taking a pen and paper and writing them down and like reviewing and looking at them, it actually like increases the chances you'll actually accomplish them. So that's why that's the only reason I write them.
Now,
Just-
do y'all feel like writing them down is like better than mentally just keeping them like
Mhm.
up here? Like why do y'all feel like that's kind of better to do?
I kind of feel like and kudos to sports because a lot of things I feel like I go by now and I do now is because of sports. But I had a coach tell me, Coach Wimberly, shout out to him. But he told me that like if you visually see something all the time, like if you have like words up or like whatever your goal is, you know, whatever that is, if you visually see it all the time, it starts like to reinforcing your brain like you have to get that done.
True.
So sometimes I'll see people like they'll put stuff as like their lock screen. I think you do stuff like that.
Yeah.
A couple of people do things like that. They'll put something as on their lock screen because they know they look at their phone a lot. So when they look at their phone, they're gonna see that. And even if you don't acknowledge it in that moment, it's just like subliminally, it'll just be in your head again. And I think that's important.
It'll always be on your mind.
Yeah.
There's I know we spoke on a pod before, so it's the same concept like when you buy a car or like say you want a car and then everywhere you go you see that car now. So like there's a portion of your brain that looks for the things you want, like or you believe. So like if you just specify like when you buy a new car, you always see that car. Same thing with your goals. Like if you have your goals written out and it's something you review constantly and it's in your head, your brain will subconsciously look for ways for you to accomplish it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
but
true.
you have to actually have it out there and put it out. That's why they say speak things. Like even old knowledge is always to speak what you want. Because I forgot the part of your brain. Like they found it later with neuroscience, but yeah, but that shit's real. Like your coach is saying, like there's actual, you can see it happening in someone's brain if you were like to scan their brain while they're doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend to write your goals down. Me personally.
Facts. I remember high school, our shit was 1-0 each week. Like he was like, don't worry
fire.
about the full season, just go 1-0 each week. So every week we just focus on how we go 1-0, and we finished the season 9-2. So there's only 2 weeks where we didn't go 1-0. So I think after seeing like how that worked, I'm like, nah, I think there's definitely some truth to that.
So
Yeah, 100%.
So
I
as
feel
we-
like also
As you-
there's like a fear of failing or like probably disappointing your coach.
Mhm.
I feel like we always have that in the like back of our head. Like for
Mhm.
me, it's like I want to live a certain life, and I know if I don't get certain things done, I'll never live that life.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
And speaking of what you say, like, that's actually a question I had for you, Jay. That I wanted to ask you. Even for us, because we relate to it too. Like, I feel like when you're pursuing a goal or you're pursuing your dream that's like unorthodox, what's like the biggest fears you have with it? You know what I mean? I know sometimes we always talk about believing in yourself, but I know we all could be like, you fear things. Like, you have fears. Like, for you, like, what's the biggest fears that you have to overcome on a daily basis while you pursue your goals?
I feel like it's weird, but one day, like, I always just think, like, all right, I'm working towards what I want to work towards when it has to do with photography, art, like, business-wise, whatever. But it's like, what if one day what I do is not as big as it is later on? Because you got to think about it, the way technology is nowadays, like, we don't know what the fuck is going to happen.
Facts.
And, like, even 15 years from now, so imagine, like, 30, 40. You get what I'm saying? or just say like just not capable of what I'm doing later on in life. But I always tell myself like don't always focus on the bigger things all the time, because I feel like when you do, when something small but it's still a blessing happens, you'll like overlook it. Then you'll be like, damn, like I'm not getting to my big goals. But just the other day, like you booked a shoot for this amount of money that could really help you out right now. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So,
Bro, and to that point, you just reminded me something that my therapist said. She asked me a question. She was like, yo, Christian, is life a journey or is it a puzzle piece? And it stemmed off her saying, yo, you got to learn to enjoy the little things. And I want to ask you guys the same question. Is life a journey? And I'll give you my answer after. But do you think, is life a journey or a puzzle piece?
That's so hard.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it depends on how you look at things. Me personally, I would say it's probably more so a journey for me, because if life is a puzzle piece in my head, then when you complete your puzzle, then you completed what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
So if there's just certain pieces that I feel like you're gonna lose. Like you'll lose family members. There's certain people who aren't here anymore. So if that to you, especially when people reach like a pinnacle of success, if like when I get successful, if the person I wanted to share the success with is no longer here, whether it be like, they passed on, or maybe me and that person just don't get along anymore. You feel me? Maybe that takes a little bit out of the enjoyment. But I think in my head, if I look back and I'll be like, you know what? Damn, my brother's not here to see me do this, but I know he would be happy. And I know because of everything I went through that this makes that much more sense. So in my head, it would be like that journey, because I just experienced different shit and like along the road. I don't feel like more pieces are being put in. But then if you look at like how this is being ran, like our podcast, like this is puzzle,
Yeah.
like everybody has a certain piece and everybody fits differently, So I think it's kind of both, honestly. If I could straddle the fence, I would.
Yeah.
I would say journey.
Okay.
I feel like it's never ending. I feel like with a puzzle piece, like Asante said, you put it together, it's done. But with a journey, you just kind of figuring it out. Like, we just make mistakes, try to fix them. If we don't, then we got to continue and face X, Y, and Z. So it's kind of different with puzzle pieces. You just always putting things together. And it makes sense and it works and that's it and it's done. But life is never really done. You just always keep going.
Yeah.
So I think it's a journey.
So I was, it stemmed off like that conversation we had came from, because I view life, at the time, I changed my answer. It was like a puzzle piece. Like, always want to solve problems, always want to figure something out. And she kept asking me like, okay, well, what happens when you're done with this? I'm like, I just do something else. Like, she's like, what happens when you accomplish this goal? I just pick another goal. But then after like really thinking about it, I said, life is a journey, but you get the puzzle pieces as you go along the journey.
Yeah.
So as you're going through life from whatever 0 to 30, as you get older, you start to figure things out, and the picture of the puzzle gets more clear, because as a journey you get these little pieces, but it's like a 10,000 piece puzzle, right? And you can only complete the puzzle is if you keep progressing in life. And I feel like sometimes we like might get stagnant and stop, and we never really figure out what life was about or what our life was supposed to be about, because we never continue. So that's when I was like, yo, life is a journey, but you pick up the pieces to the puzzle as you go.
As you go.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I don't remember what class I was taking, but a teacher had me read The Alchemist, whatever.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then she was telling me, she's like, a book like this is important because it shows you that even when you're like, if you sat in the crib for a whole year, right? During the pandemic, you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything positive for yourself. Once you hit that brink of realization, sometimes it may take rock bottom, but some people just like, yo, I don't want this for myself. I'm not going to do this anymore. You going through that situation now sets a precedent in your life that you will never allow yourself to be in a position to where I'm just not doing anything. So that would be a gem that you just got from a situation, for me, that you wouldn't be able to really. It's like some people just been hard workers their whole lives and they're blessed with that. And like whenever something causes them to sit down, like they won't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah,
and some people are just people who have like, all right, like I've, been like self-loathing and I've done like, negative things to myself and just had like, behaviors that I shouldn't have. And then now I know what the other side looks like. So they can kind of find a balance to where it's like, all right, like I know that I'm heading in a direction that I don't need to be heading in, so I'm gonna put myself back on this direction. You feel me? So it's kind of a silver lining that when you experience certain things that like I feel in that moment, yeah, it'll be shitty, and like when you hearing somebody talk about it, oh, you'll get through this, bro. It's like I last week I was having a conversation with my aunt, and it was hot as hell. I was in Jamaica. It was hot as hell, and we were waiting in line. I'm like, yo, this line is dumb long. And the mom was like, "Oh, this shall pass too, right?"
Who said that?
Auntie Pat. So I was like, Auntie, I always had like a issue with that statement because it's like, if everything that happens in your life, you're like, "Oh, this will pass too." How many things are you gonna go through that shit? You're like, "Oh, all this shit is just ass." I'm going through another ass situation. Can I reflect on the other one before it happens? Yeah. And she was laughing. It was a joke, but you know, like when people go through certain things, like it's kind of hard to see in that moment. And he's like, but I needed this. Like I needed to experience that. So I know in the rest of my life that like, damn, I can't take this person for granted because it's a possibility that they could not be here. Some people have, you know, both parents, all their grandparents completely alive, and they're just not talking to the peoples because they haven't experienced loss to show them that those relationships are valuable. You feel me? Yeah. So that stuff is really important.
Yeah. And I know, like, for me, that's like what I remind me of is, I know sometimes people say, like, all the worst things that's ever happened to you, would you wish they never happened to you?
No.
I feel like that's what built me into what I am.
Exactly.
Right now.
Yeah. And let's toot our own horns for a second. Niggas is fire right now. You feel me? Like, if you think about all the movies you've seen, like one thing changes in the past, and now before you know, like you're a dweeb.
Yeah.
You just doing some other shit. You just doing something stupid. Yeah. Like, nah.
What are you saying though?
No, I was just saying, like, it's just crazy. Like, it's just how a lot of life experiences that you go through, like, really change the way you act, the way you move, the way you do things, like the way you talk, just everything. Like, even just the environment that you grow up in, like, that shit changes everything into what you are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that's what kind of fuels me into like the type of art that I do right now too. It's just like calm stuff. Like y'all probably seen, like I'll take pictures of this like random street signs, like a random store. Beautiful. But like that random store will be like a corner store by my crib. Like in my house, I never moved from my crib, so I've been there my whole 25 years. So it's like that random corner store that you see on Instagram. That could be a corner store I've been going to since I was like a young ass kid. Yeah. So I feel like that kind of builds everybody's road to what they are right now.
Yeah. You literally building, like, people write books, but in your situation, your pictures would be your books.
Exactly.
Because over time, those are going to be like timepieces for other people. Because I remember being in school and my teacher was showing us pictures of the landscape of the part of Paterson we was in. And I'm like, yo, if no one took these pictures in the 20s, we would have no clue what this shit looked like at all. So like that is gonna, you feel me? One day you're no longer gonna be here, but your pictures are gonna be here, and your story will always be through your eyes. So that's dope.
And that was a question too, because I was looking through your art and I saw it was always like it reminded me of everyday life. And I was wondering, like, you just said that those past moments you wouldn't give up because that reflects in your art. So what is like the cornerstone of your creativity? Like, do you need that like traumatic moments to happen to you to get creative, or is it just you need to be walking and you're like, that's it? Is it like, how does it work for you?
It's honestly random. Like, it's really random. Sometimes like I'll be in my car, literally say running errands for the day, and I'll drive past some crazy ass like graffiti wall on the side of the highway. Like I'll be like, oh shit. But say if I don't have time right then and there, then I'll like bookmark it on my maps, and then I'll come back like when I have time. Or say if I'm just driving around and I happen to have my camera on me, I'd dead be pulling over the side of the road type of shit, like just to take a picture real quick. So that's why sometimes like some of my art will be literally random ass stuff, and then of course I have pictures with people in them toward our planned photo shoots. So I feel like it's random.
So what about photography? Like the views of life catches your attention more than words?
Paints a better picture. I feel like it kind of, say you take a book with all words, and then you take a book with majority photos, but some words like caption wise or whatever. You could read a book, but it's like you kind of gotta paint your own vision to it, and not a lot of people could do that. I feel like that's harder rather than you seeing a book and putting your own words to it, kind of thing. It just explains the picture better, like the story you're trying to tell.
Okay.
Pretty much.
And for you in the future, do you see yourself get into like motion pictures or videos, or is it just I want to always working with still photos?
Nah, I honestly like slowly like that's why I post small videos now.
Okay.
I'm slowly want to get into like filmmaking. And what I mean by that, like rather than videography, filmmaking is actual like story, more of a storyline rather than like music videos, stuff like that. So like short stories, probably like 5, 10 minute, 30-minute videos. Not no crazy shit, but
I know a really good actor if you need one.
for real?
Yeah.
Who?
That guy over there with the mustache.
Say no more. I'm with it. Nah, that's dope.
You gotta say something, Lynn?
No.
I thought you were, but yeah, bro, that's interesting. And I was curious because I think for me, like I'm more of a words type of person. Like, words speak to me. Like I see
everybody's different. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know how in school they tell you like, are you a visual learner, like an audio learner?
Yeah.
Are you both? Like, do you have to do it hands on? Like, I kind of feel like that points everybody in the direction they're supposed to go.
Yeah, because imagination is not plentiful.
So
Like,
how does it work with you?
a lot of people, like, all right, so it's like this. You can be a completely cognitive person, meaning like you have all your senses, you have no like handicaps, and you have two of those people. One person, if they read a book, they can actually picture in their head.
Yeah.
But there's a demographic of people that actually can't picture things in their head, like at all.
Really?
Like their brain just doesn't produce that to
Like
see it.
It's like a large percentage, like it's like half the population. Or something?
I don't know the percentage at all, but there's just a percentage of people that's a thing for them. Like they can't, when they read a book, just like even like that you have that interior voice in your head when you're reading something.
Yeah.
Some people don't have that either. Like, so looking at a picture, if you have your visual, like if your retinas are perfectly fine, you can always see a picture, and the picture is gonna resonate with everybody. But somebody can read a text. It could be descriptive. It could be whatever. And then one person will enjoy it more because like, oh, I just pictured this in my head. And the person just be like, all right, it's just words. It just said that.
Yeah.
This is what the place looks like.
Yeah. That's what I like. When I read, like I like to read. It's pictures. Like the words, like as I'm reading, I immediately turn to pictures in my head. Like I could be reading something about personal development. And in my head, I just see like that person they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like it immediately, even like if you get some people who are really good at reading, they could just look at a page and be able to read the whole page like instantly because they've learned how to, like how you see hot dog. If you separate, it's hot and dog. But when you see hot dog together, it's just quickly one word. They could do that with a sentence. Like look at a sentence and completely get the whole meaning of the sentence when just looking at it. And it could do that. That's why there's like 1,000 words per minute readers and things like that. Because they learn.
Android.
Yeah.
I think pictures all different have
bro?
What did you say, Larry?
I said I think pictures have like you can have your own story. Everybody can see it a different way. I feel like kind of sometimes with context, like it is one meaning and it is like it is what it is. And then with pictures, there's like I can see it one way and you can see it a different way.
Yeah.
And interpret it that way. It's like when we were kids and we were given like those standardized tests and it had like a picture or like a sentence and we had to come up with a story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
So it's like whoever had the best
I used
story
to body that shit.
would like win or like would get like this crazy high standardized test score. So I think it's like however we interpret it.
Yeah. And
that's what's cool about
and that's
it.
important, like interpretation. So like Jay, what do you think you as an artist sees in a picture that like us we don't interpret, we don't see? Like even you have someone a camera take a picture, it comes out bad, but you see something other people don't see. What is that?
So like kind of like what you said earlier, like ordinary life. I feel like a lot of times we are so focused on so much other shit that like we don't take in like what's going on right then and there. You get what I'm saying? So like say for instance, like if we're all walking down the street right now and we see like a clean ass, like nothing wrong with it, like classic like 1940s muscle car or whatever like that. Y'all might just be like, oh, that car's like fire. You walk past it. Me, I'm gonna be like, I'm about to capture that moment. Because it's just like you don't really see that often. You get what I mean? So I think that's what I pretty much focus on. A lot of times I just take in like what's in front of me at the current moment.
Do you meditate?
It's crazy because people ask me that. No, not at all. Like,
You sound like it.
Yeah. Not at all. Like I really don't. Yeah. I never have, never tried it. yoga, none of that.
So do you don't the way you're talking, do you have any anxiety? Like, do you deal with anxiety, or like do you reminisce on the past a lot? You seem like you're very focused on the now.
I feel like when I was younger, I used to a lot. I went through a lot of things, family stuff that kind of caused me to just like, I used to always focus on the past, why this happened, why that happened. But then now it's just kind of like I'm asking myself questions I may never get the answer to. And my grandmother always told me, like, when you focus on that, like, that's when you can't be focused on now.
I'll explain that a little bit.
So pretty much like, say something traumatic happens, you know, to you, whether now, when you were younger, whatever the case may be. And you kind of know, like, you know how, like, you start to ask yourself, like, oh, damn, like, why did this happen? You're constantly asking yourself, like, why did this go this way? Why did this person do that?
Mm-hmm.
When you focus too much on that, it already happened. Like, you can't do nothing about it. So it's the past. So it's like, kind of like, why are you focusing on the past? Just focus on right now. It already happened. You know, you already dealt with it. Once you get past it, you could do whatever else you want to do for the future.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And this, I love that, because like even the way you explained it, like you explained the story, I feel like that was a journey in life you went through. And you got a puzzle piece to life out of it.
Yeah. Honestly, that's 100% facts.
Yeah.
I can't lie to you at all.
I feel like we go through shedding periods. It's like
Ooh.
a whole new person. Like we go through something that like is traumatic or is like a staple in our life, and it's like, oof, let that go. Now it's something new.
So,
But
ask your question, Lay. Oh, go for it.
there's certain things that it just causes for that. Like if you think about Darwinism, right? Like survival of the fittest, all that good shit.
Right.
If you're living for your environment at that moment, like you're no longer taking naps, drinking juice boxes, and trying to color inside the lines. So you trying to live your life like that's your environment, that doesn't make any sense. So as you grow up and your situation changes, you're gonna change too.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a video went viral the other day, but that video about Lauryn Hill, it's like a really old video. And people were just like, "Oh my God, this is so profound." Whatever. I'm like, have you ever listened to her music?
Right.
Like she's talking about like changing, and she's saying like, if anybody looks at you like that, you haven't changed. Be like I'm supposed to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like those things are important because it's like someone that met Muhlenberg Chris versus Chris that they know now. They're gonna be like, "Yo, that's not the Chris I knew."
It's a wild
And
boy.
that's not that's not bad, because if someone wants to meet the same exact you 5-6 years later, they're like, yo, like what has he done? Like,
what the fuck?
Like I can, if I can see someone, like you said, like you came back, like you saw him, you seen like, all right, he's on shit, like he's about what he's doing. Like people are supposed to see that growth in you, because it's just like, if they don't, then you're in the same spot that they left you at, and then people around you are growing and you aren't. And when you look back at certain situations, like you were saying before, like closure in certain situations, you know, is good, but there's other times where like closure kind of be like robbing you of like your experience, because you want something to happen, but you can't move on, or you can't do something until you figure out why that happened. And if it's a person, if it's a situation, whatever it may be, you're letting it win. Yeah. Like if you're at home, I got furloughed, I got fired from my job, why did this happen? That job is not going to call you back like, damn, you know, we shouldn't have fired you. Come back.
Yeah, hell no.
So you sitting there, you sitting there unemployed. Yeah. Guess who's still a broke motherfucker looking for answers? You. Like, you got to go figure out a different situation. And then maybe sometimes you're like, all right, maybe that's why this happened, because the new situation I'm in showed me that I didn't need to be fighting for getting a raise at this job, because this job just gave me $7 off rip on the walkthrough. You feel me? So that's why that happened, because I needed this job.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't experience it, then you don't know.
And to your point, both of you guys, the shedding, change. One of my favorite quotes is, when I was a child, I thought like a child, I acted as a child, I understood as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things, right? So to Santi's point, a lot of people sit around waiting, like, I'm trying to figure things out. Or like they, you know, traumatic things happen to them and then they change. But I like that quote so much because the last line says, I put away childish things. And I think a lot of times people aren't willing to take that responsibility, that I'm the one who needs to put away my childish ways. Like, I'm the one who needs to stop doing certain things or start doing certain things. But we sit around waiting for like answers. Like, someone like I'm sitting around waiting for my wife to come to me. Like I'm sitting around waiting for that job to come find me. I'm sitting around and it's like, no, you have to be the one who puts it away, who puts away childish things, who changes, who goes out there, who becomes the person you need to be. But I feel like that's just not natural for like us as humans, as people. Like we don't naturally do those things, and I wonder like why. If you guys think of like have an answer.
I feel like there's so many external things now. Like I feel like we could get distracted so easily. Like I feel like our parents, like when my mom talks about when she was my age, she literally went to work like all day, partied all night, and went back to work, and like it was just like nothing to them.
I can't do that shit now.
Do y'all ever get to a point? It's like, yo, y'all were robots.
Yeah.
Yo,
Parents like, I had 3 jobs. I slept 2 hours a week.
yeah, like what?
I used to walk to school 5 miles, snowing outside.
Y'all had bad eats, so how was your body generated?
No way, bro.
It's just like, bro,
yeah, I know y'all lying.
I got they ain't popping no Gatorade juice or nothing. You feel me? Like we got high tech shit. I drink a Red Bull and I still can't operate.
You ever
if I'm
seen
tired,
like I saw on Twitter like the old pictures of like it was like Earl Campbell winning the Heisman.
yeah,
He looked like a grown ass man.
bro. He's 20, bro, and he looks like 40-year-old us.
Yeah, they were built different.
What's going?
Like,
Was it the food we eat or something? I
I
don't know.
don't know.
GMOs, man.
Yeah.
GMOs got it.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they didn't have distractions though. Like it was literally the people they had around them.
Yeah.
Because they're still friends with those people. You see how like we just like kind of like our generation kind of just goes in and out of people. Like our parents, nah, that's not happening with them.
Yeah.
They got they same 10, 20-year niggas with them. Like
I feel
30, 40.
Yeah, type.
It was
like
easier to focus back
yes,
then. Like,
it's
you don't got so much outside shit.
so
Like if I don't see you, I don't know what you're doing, so I
distractions.
don't care. So I have to focus on my shit.
now
You could sit down all day and focus on other
I'm
people's
on
shit. now.
Instagram looking at all kinds of stuff. I got, you know, my own like personal problems. Like it's just too many crazy extra things going. Like they ain't have that.
And like to your point, because I want to ask him this too, because you said the people around you. Like I feel like your circle you have around you is so important. Like
so important.
Like they say, if you take your 5 friends and average them out, like that'll be you. You know, so like your group.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Like how did you guys all come together? And like, yo, we're gonna do this.
It was type natural. So all right. So I'm in 2 groups technically. I'm in Holy Prophecy. That's like our entertainment group.
Yeah.
Me, Misfit, Mav, Ambition, like Suki, all of us. Then I have my own group, VisionaryShooters. Like just a whole group of photographers and videographers. So basically, my boy Ambition and London or whatever, like they had the Holy Prophecy already. So after school, like I used to just always come over. They be making music, producing, engineering, whatever. They needed somebody to take photos. So I'd be like, all right, like you have the camera. I'll just be the nigga taking photos. I ain't think nothing of it.
That's
whatever.
crazy.
Long story short, it just got to the point where like I wanted to do it every day, like without even like thinking about it. So my mom brought me a camera for Christmas, and then that went to where I'm at now. And then we pretty much just, I was already friends with Chris and Alan and Kev. And then when we met Misfit, which is Antonio, we was at the talent show my senior year, his junior year. And he performed. Mind you, we never seen this nigga. You know, like we from Garfield, so it's like the town is pretty small. So it's like most of the time, if you play sports or you just known, like you know everybody.
Yeah.
Never heard of this nigga, never seen him, like nothing. He got on stage and it was just like yo, like for you to be 16, like this is crazy. So whatever, we found his Twitter, linked with him. He became part of the group. And then once I kind of got to the point where I knew I wanted to do what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, that's when I made my group and just met them niggas along the way. Just doing all of that.
That shit is important.
Yeah.
Find your tribe, bro.
That's
Like,
You gotta find it. Honestly, it comes to you. If anybody needs advice on just like building a group, if you want to get into a group,
Give them some.
Yeah, like let it really come to you, because God forbid you get the wrong people in your group. Like
can't force it.
it's y'all all gotta be on the same type of time. So like I always say this quote to everybody, like from Nipsey, rest in peace. He said pretty much it's a thing called creative destruction. So it's basically like you're going against the grain. So the quote is pretty much the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists on the world adapting to himself. Therefore, all progress falls on the unreasonable man. So pretty much what that means is that like, if say we're all in a group, but say like I'm messing up, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, or whatever, we're not gonna get to where we're trying to get to because I'm the one person messing up. So it's like that's why I always say once you get that solid group, just stick with it. Like stick with it.
So with that solid group, you said like one person not doing what they're. How do you guys keep each other accountable? Like say someone's messing up, how you guys be like, yo, you're messing up, or you're not doing
just being honest. Like at the end of the day, like I always say, this is how I know like my group is my group, because I know if say God forbid we all wake up tomorrow and we can't do the things that we've been doing this whole time, like if I had to give up photography, they had to give up producing, whatever, we would still be friends. So it's like once y'all build that solid friendship, like you could always be honest with each other. So it's like if I'm not shooting for a while, I'm not doing nothing photography related for a while, somebody would be like, yo, like, come on, we gotta go shoot today. Something like outside, we gonna find a model, whatever you gotta do. So it's just being there for each other pretty much, I would say. That's what helps us.
That's beautiful.
I was talking to Jace a couple months ago, and we were talking about, just the collective of, finding people and like things happen and just gravitating towards people. And he was saying like, it's like you basically appreciate it. Like when you feel like you're meant to do something and, you can put all your thought and process to that. But once you start surrounding yourself with people that actually think the same way as you do,
on the same type of time,
on the same type of flow, and like, yo, like we're trying to accomplish the same things, that's when you kind of know, like, all right, I think I'm on the right path. Because all these people also think they're going to be successful.
Right.
So
we were talking about like buying a yacht or something, right?
no.
Or like flying on planes, right? I feel like we were talking about that, and Jace was like, the fact that we all say we want to be on a jet together is like,
that's the dopest part.
That's like important, because that's a higher percentage of us actually being able to accomplish us all being on a jet together.
Facts.
Like it's one thing to be rich, but it's like when you're rich with your friends, like
like
that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. Shout out to Our Future, shout out to Pro Everett, shout out to
all of
them,
ASAP Clan, shout out to a lot of them.
It's like you have this vision in your head, and you're like, yo, am I bugging for thinking this? But then you meet all these people, and you're like, oh, you guys are on the same type of time. And you're like, oh, maybe we all think like this because we are of that small percentage of people that do accomplish these things.
Exactly.
Right.
People that don't ever think about this, they don't accomplish it because they don't think about it.
They don't think about it. That's
not
a fact.
like trying to get it,
Right.
And that's fine. But you're like, oh yeah, we're all gonna get it together.
Right.
Type shit, yeah.
I like that.
I love that.
Shit fucking sticks, man.
You guys want to get into current events?
Hell yeah.
Can we start with my favorite story?
Let's get it.
Okay.
My favorite story of the week. So there was
that laugh was menacing.
So there was this mother who stole her daughter's identity.
Oh god.
Went to college, got financial aid, and started dating younger men.
Nah.
This is the most
for you to go to school.
Bizarre story.
Nah, wait. Like she
That's
went
your
to school
daughter.
to get the education.
But
she just
to get the grants. But when I was trying to read the article, I was trying to understand, like, so did she go to school? Because it didn't really say it. No, it just said that she obtained like a bunch of Pell grants and like state grants and shit like that.
You trying to go to school and get slapped out as your daughter is wild.
Bro, I don't know.
No, the fact that niggas were believing it is even wonkier.
Yo,
Like
the article through in dating younger men. I'm like, yo, what type of time was she on?
How old are you? 19. You have.
I'm a grad student.
I'm a grad student.
Like what? Like you're wildin'.
Oh my god, that was my favorite.
They probably
story.
honestly thought like, you think she was probably like dishing out the whole like sugar mama story type of shit. Like
no, she was saying she was 22. That's
oh word?
Yeah, that's
she
crazy,
was 46.
Bro, my
That
last
was
semester
weird.
in school, I had a shorty that was in my class that was 45. And every time she started a story, she let you know she was 45 and had 4 kids. She'd be like, like this world is crazy. Like me, I'm 45, I have 4 kids. It's like, so I know she would have let that shit slip at least. Like, cause they would have been complaining about dumb. Think about it. We kids, right? And I would say we kids because we're adults, but we're kids.
Yeah, we're still young.
We're in
You
the
feel
prime
me?
of our childhood.
Yeah.
So it's like what the shit that we're gonna complain about an adult is like, oh my god, that's nothing. I wish that was my problem. Just like we watched the generation under us do that. So she was gonna be in class. Somebody's gonna go, oh, I was up last night. Fucking my girlfriend's complaining because I'm playing Fortnite the whole night. She was like, shut the fuck up. I'm 45 and I got 2 kids. They're wilding. Like, nah, that shit was never gonna work, bro. No way. Should have said some dumb shit. You guys remember what?
I wonder who ratted her out.
They can't even.
It didn't say how much bread like she had in total.
No, I didn't say
About-
how
No,
much
it
she's
didn't.
scared, but she about to do like 4 years in prison. So.
Yeah,
She
identity
needs to,
theft.
though.
Oh,
How do you explain that?
That's
Like,
terrible. Like,
how you steal your daughter's identity?
people are evil, yo. People are really evil.
keep it a band. Y'all talking to your parents after that?
Nah,
No.
you're dumb.
Yeah.
Like they. I heard her putting the light bill in the kid name, but you just tried to take out tuition. Ma, you just trying to
put me in
bury my
debt.
shit.
Yeah, you put me in debt.
Like, no.
Like you think it's like
Ma, I
dead,
don't
like
wanna go
it's
to
daddy
college.
for
Oh,
the
you're
rest
going
of
to college.
it's like daddy for the rest of your lives.
Nah, you'd have to talk to your parent again. That's just crazy, though.
That's crazy. I know someone whose mother, they're in business together. True story.
Oh, wait,
And-
you sure you want to say that?
No, I know. I'm not saying names. I just know
Okay,
someone
okay.
whose mother and sister was in business. Mother,
Santi
sister,
said that,
brother.
like,
And the business started going under. And the mother and sister sold the business without telling him and stole like $2 million from him.
Whoa.
And he ended up going in debt for the business going in the hole. And he ended up eventually getting rich, going to church, finding God, forgiving his parents and his mother and sister. And
Man,
getting
listen
back. So
here.
if you can forgive your mother and sister for stealing $2 million from you, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe, you know.
Maybe forgive but never forget.
Nah, you still tell
Yeah.
Nah.
Like, it's hard to be
That's-
family with somebody after that. Imagine it's like, yo, it's Christmas. You work really hard. I just want to. Bitch, you bought me this with my money. You think this gift me anything?
This
to
is no
me?
gift. You owe me this.
yeah.
Like, damn,
Uh,
$2 million is crazy.
$2 million.
Mil, bro. That's
And
bad.
the fact that
debt.
you did it on like on a sneaky tip is just like,
Yeah, man.
Nah.
He had them going in the hole, though. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't
nah.
like they stole, everything was okay.
Ain't even asked like, yo, can I hold some of the bread? Like I'm your wife. Like
Nah,
Yeah.
he went in
That's
the hole.
sick.
Or
That's
let's
sick, bro.
sell it together, some shit.
But
People
I feel like
really
once
evil.
once you do some shit like that, especially if it's a person you know, if it's a person you know, once you take that amount of money, you in your head plan on cutting ties with that person for the rest of your life. Because there's no way you think you could have a rational conversation with someone you stole $2 million.
Hey, look
from.
over
Still
there.
understand.
Like it's not like you're gonna come around and be like, yo, bro, I know I embezzled this money from you, but it's like still boys though, right? Like you can't talk about normal shit after that. Like, bro, what? Like I would think in my head, like, yo, they said fuck you. Like they didn't.
Yeah, they don't respect you. None of that.
Yeah, like bro, you're crazy.
That's tough.
That's tough. That's super tough.
It's the next story. This one is more serious. This is about the U.S. and other countries, UK, U.S. I think a couple other countries are protesting the Winter Olympics, so they're not sending any delegates there because of China's human rights abuse. So Jace told me about the tennis player that said that a China official sexually assaulted her. Then she went missing for a couple days and put out a statement that like Kanye reading the thing for Jay Prince.
He says it's serious and then he giggles.
Oh, my fault. So and then also supposedly
It's not funny, but
that's
you
not
just
funny. That's not funny.
why'd you do that? Go
This is,
ahead.
this is a
And
serious
then-
topic, guys.
And then the craziest part, they've been like killing Muslims in China right now, like
yeah,
a
they're
Muslim.
putting
Yeah, I
them
heard
in like
about that, yeah.
camps and stuff.
Put them like what is it? Like what are they doing?
They're
So
putting work camps.
I don't know.
and
I don't know
shit.
if people could. I don't know what boycotting the Olympics is gonna do. Personally, not setting delegates.
Yeah.
When your athletes are
Yeah.
still performing, you're still getting gold medals and stuff. So I think it's just more of a
That shit is
we're
scary,
doing
bro.
something.
Yeah.
You know, now that you're actually doing something.
Yeah.
But
It kind of like it's kind of unfortunate for the athletes though, and I feel like that's why they gave them that opportunity to
okay.
make a choice, because it's like that's kind of their job, like
Yeah.
you know,
Or what they
this
just love
is-
to do.
This is their craft. They work hard to get there. It's kind of like messed up to take it away from them, although you know there are serious things going on in the
Yeah.
world and we should be aware of them, and I guess that's why they're trying to pull the delegates from going over there.
Yeah.
that's something they can control.
But
Right,
it's kind of they like sending athletes to a country that they disagree with. Cause bro, Jesse Owens, what? That boy was in Germany whooping their ass, bro. Nah, and for real, and he's mad because it's a black man doing it, and
Yeah.
he knows he can't touch him, he can't do anything. So, I think it's kind of a slight jab when you still send your athletes. You're like, yo, we about to wow you the fuck up.
I heard a story about that too, bro. I was who is that guy? I forgot. He's famous though.
Fizz?
No. He's a scientist, but he was telling a story of his father His father was running track.
Neil
And
deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, so you know the exact story I'm about to say. So his father was running track. It was during World War II where they didn't have the real Olympics or something, and it was the running in Hitler Stadium. So the black guy was winning, and he said he heard like one of the coaches from a different country like, catch that nigga, and he said in his head he was like, this is one nigga you're not gonna be catching today, and beat them all. But like that's real shit, bro. You go to compete in these countries that don't like you, and you hear like all these racist
you gonna hear
stuff,
everything,
and you're smoking them. Like
Yeah.
that feels good. I would feel like if you're smoking people who are throwing all these hate at you, you're like, well, I'm still getting a gold medal, and you're still mad, you know?
Because niggas is still gonna talk regardless.
Yeah,
No matter what you do, anything you do.
But yeah, like to your point though, like I couldn't imagine, like you're saying, like training for 2 years or 4 years for one thing, and then the U.S. being like, all right, you can't go.
Yeah. So I respect them for not doing that because that's some America shit for them to try to take away niggas' rights and shit.
Yeah, Wawa parking lot would have been lit. They won't send my cousin.
And what was the next current event that we had?
Oh, Maxwell. You want to talk about that?
Oh,
Her case?
Yeah. Have you guys been paying attention to that though?
Nah,
I've been like in and out of it.
I've been reading.
That's just scary, bro.
It's
Yeah.
it's out of this world, bro.
Well,
like
There's
Like,
mad people
It's
involved.
bro, everyone's a creep.
Yeah,
Anybody that's
literally.
famous is just a terrible.
okay, that's not-
Basically.
No, I
that's
know.
how
I
it
know.
starts.
No, but I'm saying like that's how it
No,
makes.
I
Like
feel
it's just there's people on this list or people that's coming out,
Yeah.
You would never
Did
expect
you guys
it.
see this
Yeah.
attendance list?
and then they're saying it's like, I mean, I don't really buy into conspiracy theories until they're true. I ain't about to be a martyr though. I'll let y'all tinfoil niggas do that. But people's talking about like CEOs dropping from companies. Now that the case started, like within like the last like month, like 4 or 5 Fortune 500 companies, like their CEO just stepped
a
down.
lot of congressmen.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird stuff.
But
Man.
I was I was reading like what people are saying in the courtroom, and there's like women saying, "Yo, I was 14. I don't want it." It was
I saw a
it's kinda
story
nasty.
that was like they were out, like she was out walking in the park and they were having a picnic and they called her over.
Yeah.
Like I read a couple stories that were like, oh,
That shit's
these
evil,
niggas are
bro.
wildin'.
Yeah,
That
but
shit's
and
evil.
what's interesting to me, and this is why law is so interesting. Like, so I was reading what the defense team is like trying to get her out, like what they're saying, and they're basically taking the route that she had nothing to do with it. She was just naive the whole time, and that the prosecutors are trying to pin it on her because he's dead.
Right.
Like that's the route they're taking. They're just trying to say like she was naive, she had nothing to do with it, and now that he's dead, they're just trying to blame her for it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, as a lawyer, I don't know how you do that.
How you defend
Bro,
that?
if
How
I
could
see
you
that
defend
file,
How
anything
you
like,
defend-
I
like
see
that's
that
their
file.
job. Like,
How you
yeah.
defend-
I see that file slide across my desk, and I open it up, and I see all the names that's on this list.
Going
I'm
down.
good.
I'm about to have to decline.
You got it.
I don't even care about the money after that.
Bro,
Yeah,
it don't
you're
win or
good.
lose, bro. I'm gonna have to live the rest of my days
think-
terrified,
and
bro.
I feel like as a defense team, you gotta look at, yo, bro, imagine that was your daughter.
Man.
Yeah.
Like, you're defending creeps. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, is the money can't be that important to you.
For some people it is, and that shit is sad, bro.
So like the little girls with like R. Kelly, I don't really want to, dive too much into this either. But the little girls with R. Kelly, like you feel like their parents should have been held accountable.
Absolutely.
After watching the docs, like on Netflix and all that,
Right.
and getting more information on it, I feel like
There's no
I'm
way.
not gonna front
That's
in a
not
lot of these
fair.
situations, and like, and this is not for every situation. Some are unwarranted, and like people just like scoop kids up. But this, like, yo, as a parent, bro, you're dropping your kid into the fucking belly of the beast. Like, how do you not see that? Like, you're the hidden that shit, like that hidden in plain sight thing. Like, the dad was letting a 45-year-old grown man come and play in his daughter's room with the door closed. Like, why, bro?
What?
Like,
Right.
it's just certain, you as an adult, all right, like, my daughter's talented. You think she's a great singer. Like, Zendaya's father, kudos to him, bro. Because until she was 18, bro, you never seen his interview?
No.
Bro, he was not playing about his daughter, bro. He was, and you need to have a business meeting with her. I'm there. You going on a date with her. I'm in the back of the movie theater. Like, he was not letting his daughter do nothing because he knows how. He said, he's like, I'm not gonna let the industry swallow my daughter whole. Like, and he knows how these kids get, and these kids get extorted, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that shit's
Yeah.
bad. So it's like, you as a parent, you have to like, all right, you want to work with my kid? Well, I'm there, I'm present. Like, if my kid's that successful, I'm willing to quit my job and put my child's dream first. But like, bro, you as far like that's pure neglect.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that's
OD.
not pure
We
neglect.
can't even, bro.
Yeah.
We can't even sign up for football without a parent. Like, you know what I'm saying? So why would you let your kid fly across the country?
You can't do a lot of shit without a parent.
Yeah.
Like if you're not 18, so it's like, why would you just randomly let your kid? Oh yeah, go ahead and go on tour with
Yeah.
whoever.
They just
Me and
saw
Jason
that
been friends
money.
since 6th grade. I wasn't allowed to sleep
You know?
at his house until my mom met his mom.
Yeah, that's
Come
how
on,
my
bro.
parents were.
What?
That's how my parents were.
My
You want to sleep at whose house?
too.
I gotta be his mother.
First of all, me and all my girlfriends in high school, all of our moms were some older Spanish Catholic ladies. They were not having none of that shit. Like
No sleepovers?
no sleepovers. They had
No.
to conference. They had to conference call, make sure that shit was set up, pickup time, drop off time, who's in the house,
What they gonna eat?
what we gonna what we gonna eat, what we gonna do. They were not having it. They were
Nah.
them Spanish ladies were thorough as hell. Like,
The girls that was outside when we was younger, I'm like, yo, you got past a line of defense. 'Cause I
What?
know how y'all parents get.
what?
Like, I see the girls come to the party in like baggy sweats. I'm like, oh, their parents don't even know. Fucking Superman under that.
That
Take
was
it
me.
off, booty shorts and fucking a crop top. I was like, yo, y'all used to have to get sneaky because I had a lot of Spanish friends growing up.
Yeah.
I still do, but like,
So,
yeah,
and
the
the-
parental
there
level is different.
There was one more article that I did want to hear you guys' opinion on. So it was a big study. It was like the first one ever, where they looked at the type of people who go online to get relationship advice, and they found out.
I'll tell you the type.
You're gonna be surprised at the type. Actually, it was younger men. They said that majority of people who go, and they said they had reasons why, like women are more likely to go get professional help, and men aren't. Men want to do more like it's anonymous, like you don't know who I am, and I'm going online getting help. So it was like, but then older people all get professional help. It was like younger, like 25 to like 18, like that. Under like 35 group of men go online to look for help.
Like,
So
bro,
y'all go
you
on
know the
Justin
type of men that are
LA Boy?
online.
They
Imagine
go
going
on-
to
they
Reddit.
go on-
Ain't no way.
Bro, you're on Reddit.
I'm glad
That's
you
what they're
heard
doing,
me.
though.
Yo, she
The
funny.
The guy's breathing deep. He's like, so what you want to do is you're going to want to follow her for at least 10 days. Make sure you're not discoverable at any moment. You don't leave any traces.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, no, that's weird, bro.
That's weird, bro.
It's
It's a weird activity. Do y'all feel like men like our age have like a hard time, or it's like not like a good thing for men to express themselves how like women express themselves?
I think
Is that like some like weird shit to society? Y'all feel like?
I think society gives men like a double-edged sword. I feel like society tells men you need to express yourself more, but when a guy does, he gets clowned.
Yeah.
So it's like if you saw a girl crying in the street, like actually, me and my boy, we went to the bar yesterday, right? We were to watch the fight. And then we saw a girl crying by herself. We got her help because the girl was crying. We're like, need her help. But I can't say if it was a guy crying like that, we'd be like, oh, why is this guy crying? You know what I'm saying? It's like natural.
You gonna walk past like, yo, cuz,
Yeah.
good?
Yo, why is
Like-
little cuz
like,
crying?
yeah,
Nigga,
like-
bitch.
I ain't gonna say over that, but
But if it was a girl crying, you're like, yo, are you okay? You need help? Like, what's going
you need to
on?
ride home. Like, I need to call you
Nah.
Uber. Like, something.
But the crazy thing is though, like we joke about it, but it's the exact opposite because guys have to put on that whole machismo shit.
Mhm.
When you see a guy that's really like feeling that way, bro, that means like he's not even trying to hold up that facade. Like there's really something wrong with him.
Yeah,
Like he really needs help.
There's probably something really going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but something that was interesting to me, and I wrote it down. This was interesting. They said that what they did find though is that when women wrote about their problems online, they used words like "I," or very. It showed that they were like very attached, or like they had a lot of negative emotions and like anxiety using words.
Mm-hmm.
And that when men spoke about their emotions on, it was always like we, or like there was always disattachment. Like they spoke in a sense of like it's whatever, or like it was either like, oh, it's whatever, put it to the side, like it doesn't matter, or it was more so they used words like we. They never wanted to say like I'm hurt.
Man.
It was never like I'm feeling down. It was always they tried to spoke about we as a relationship, or they just dismissed it to the side. Never vulnerable enough to be like, man, I'm really hurting from this.
People be too tough, bro. You talk to a hood nigga, something wrong with him. He referred to himself as niggas. Yeah, like you good, bro? Nah, niggas is fucked up, bro. Who's niggas? Like, are you okay? I'm asking if you're okay. I don't care about them other niggas. Like, bro, like that shit. It's just it's hard to take accountability of your own feelings to yourself, which makes no sense. It's like if you feeling that way, just acknowledge it. Try to figure out the steps to either deal with it, get over it, or just to change your perspective on the situation. But as far people really bury that shit, and that's honestly why a lot of times, you know, men end up in situations where it's like, they're like, oh, that was a good person. Like I didn't know he was going through something. It's like we put ourselves in this corner, and we now have a progressive enough society to where we can be open about these things. We can. When you told me you're gonna start therapy, I was fucking excited as shit. Because it's like, if you look at Christian, nothing's genuinely wrong with him. Like, he lives a good life, but there's just little things that it's just like working out, bro. Like, you got to go to the gym to tweak little things. Like, if he's doing all chest and this nigga's legs look like this, you're going to notice it. So it's like, maybe there is a part of his life that is like, he shared something today, talking about the puzzle piece. His perspective is changing, and it's not that his situation needs to change, because his perspective can help broaden his horizon and how he sees things. You feel me? And it's not something that's a negative, but you going to see someone about that. I don't like the whole, like, people just like, you going to therapy? Like, what's going on? But it's not that something's going on.
Like,
bro.
what's good with you? Like,
you're not crazy.
You can sit down to a therapist, tell them everything about yourself, and they'll be like, all right, you're like, there's nothing like generally wrong with you, and they'll say that. But it's just like, all right, now we start exploring other things. How do you view this? How do you feel about this? You might be doing something negative to yourself and not even seeing that. Like, oh, like, you know, some days I just kind of, you know, I shut down. I don't really eat or anything like that. And to you, it's just, I still live an active life. I still do things, and I'm perfectly fine. Yeah. But that is a negative. That's like self-loathing behavior. So we maybe have to address why you do those things. Yeah. And it's just like, you start working through those things, everything is going to progress around you. Everything's going to get better. So it was like, if you don't take yourself to get that help, bro, you're not going to get help. And then other people around you don't see it, and then you start feeling bad because people don't see it, but you're not showing it. So how can I see it? Yeah, you carrying through your everyday life like you perfectly fine. I can talk to you, but if you're doing a really good job at hiding that shit, some people really do a good job at hiding that shit.
Some people don't know.
Yeah, so it's a tough situation.
And just say this last thing before we go to Song of the Week, and then I want to talk about your project that you work on after that. But it's the way the study shows is like men are good at hiding it because we're so dismissive of it. Mm-hmm. We're so good at dismissing our emotions that unless you never know. You would just never know. You know what I mean? Because we're so good at just sweeping it under the rug.
The suicide rate is so high in men.
Yeah, I didn't even.
That's why the suicide rate is so high.
I dad just found out like this year our suicide rate is higher than women. Yeah. I never knew.
Because we're more likely to like go online or go talk to our girls or go do something like real big and like talk to our friends, and guys will really be like dismissive of it. Yeah, it's a
dark thing to think that you'd rather end your life than go bother somebody with your problems. Right. Dark thing. And talk to your peoples, man.
I think that's the right word to use, because I think people think of it like that. Like, I'm bothering them.
It's not an inconvenience. I'd rather have you here.
We friends for a reason.
Yeah.
But we're gonna cut into the song of the week. Jay, I would like you to introduce the song of the week, please.
Shout out to my bro. Call Me Misfit on all platforms. Song of the week, Drawing the Plot.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back after these bomb lyrics. Beep.
Look, all I wanted as a kid was to watch a couple rings. Couldn't tell you about the bigger purpose, niggas swear I didn't know a thing. Long before I ever witnessed serpents, when the sense was lurking in my brain, dripping purple like the rain. Ripped my clothes, I hide the stains, witness flowing, then I changed. I dreamt of a chain, this shit is a shame, cause today is a game to remain free. Shit, I'm just trying to maintain in the world, trying to frame me. You trapped in a box, build this shit how I picture, like it's architecture, I'm drawing the plot. If the shoe fits, then be it, I call how I see it. You calling the cops, we too different. We are not one and the same. I'm staying true, that's for all of my brothers, but still staying true to the game. Pushing that love and that's word of my mother. They views and influence gon' change. You rented a coupe with no brain. Ironic cause you were the same. I'm about to put you on the game. I swear I ain't new to this thing. It's true, know that you wanna hang with me in the gang. But truth is we two in our lane. And stop it, make moves with a lame. Shit, you is insane. This movement is too out of range. I move like a king, something like Booker T in the ring. Told my bros you could be anything, and I meant it. If 12 at the block, I ain't see anything. I'm a long way past day shifts, putting work in, I never changed shit. I done made hits on some Drake shit, switched the wave on them, then I made this. Why I know that this shit disrespectful. I got jewelry drip a whole neck full. Who you fooling, this shit can get stressful. Sitting the bar high in Cuban like Esco, run it up, let's go. Then you wonder where your checks go. I've been investing in dreams, breaking down bread with the team. This the regime, switched up and setting the scene. Shit, I'm so fresh and so clean, but no, I always been an outcast. First to put the work in, but I'm out last. Claim they brought the flame, but they go out shit fast. Is easy, nigga. Like, I'm tired of hearing all that whoop-de-whoop, acting like HP hasn't been holding it down since 2015. We 9 projects in right now. 9-7 the motherfucking propaganda, pulling up with the shooters. This shit is visionary, nigga. Stop talking all that shit. Like, who the fuck are you to tell me to stick to this R&B shit? And best believe when I pull up to the club, I'ma park my hoopty right outside that shit. Fuck you talking about?
So again, song of the week by CallMeMisfit, Drawing the Plot.
Really, I really like that, bro. I like
Sure
the
was
line.
hard.
I like the line he said, I used to dream of having a chain. It's funny because now it's a game to be free. And that's real shit because, you know, they said, you know, we're free, but now the change is in our thoughts, you know. And again, Maverick, great production, bro. Like quality from the notebooks and the writing in the beginning.
Yeah,
to
bro.
like great production.
Like
bro.
it really
great production.
sometimes I feel like people don't understand how much it takes that goes into like literally one song, one picture, one logo. Like it takes time, bro. And it'd be times like he'll record a song, that shit don't get dropped till like a year later. Not because like we took a whole year, but it's just like we just want to make sure the work is the best work we could put out. Pretty much.
That's dope,
right,
man. I could
yeah.
definitely tell.
That shit was tough.
You know, we're about mastery here, so it's great to see like, because you know nowadays it's so easy to drop music. You know, I could right now get my USB mic I got in my office, press record, get a beat off YouTube, and drop a song. So it's great to hear someone actually putting quality out. Like you can tell they're like, I don't know if you guys have a studio, but you could tell it was made like with production. Like really took their time to make it.
Nah,
So
yeah,
it's
we definitely
amazing.
appreciate that, bro. For real, as a group, 100%.
Yeah, anybody that's gonna name drop my boy Drake in a song, they good at my book. Nah, that scheme setting up to it, that shit was fire.
Nah, it's really great.
Yeah, he's one of the few people, not even because like he's my bro, like it's just one of the few people like I've met throughout the years. Few people at that like that really how you were saying earlier, like just lyrics wise is just crazy. Like none of that new mumble rap and all of that. Like,
Yeah, who's that talking about? I was talking about it with Nate. Me and Nate were talking about it yesterday. How like he said that the 2000s was the worst time period for music because that was when you had all the dancing songs, and then music started getting back to rapping, and then Chief Keef came along, and he likes Chief Keef. Chief Keef made great music, but he birthed a lot of rappers who just like don't actually rap. They just get on the track, like
That's
Famous
that
Dex.
ignorant shit.
the hood rap shit, like I said.
But would you call it hood rap? Because like Griselda, I feel like that's hood rap. Like,
That's grunge.
but they're telling you the streets, like what it's about. You know what I mean? But like Famous Dex, like what is he? I don't know if y'all like. I mean, no disrespect if y'all like Famous Dex.
It would be street rap because that's what the gangsters at that time looked like. Pink hair, fucking. They got a purse with a gun in it.
That's in Atlanta. Them
But
South gangsters.
So for them and in Chicago, some people did look like that. But Griselda, they're like, they're more of a backpack rap, like grunge, like the people that they rap with, they kind of classified already. So. I don't know. I just feel like when you do have substance in your music, but you could deliver it in a way, which is one of the reasons why I feel like J. Cole was always so popular, and he is so popular, is because J. Cole can get on a record like the London. It sounds like he's just playing around on that song, but he's spitting some shit on that shit, and he's just, you feel me? He's having fun with it. Like there's a way of like I could convey a message. I could tell people my life story. And I could paint a picture, but I'm gonna put it on these raps to where it's like some people just write off like a rapper like Common and like Jay Elect because he's too wordy and he's too. But if you could do that shit, but you're doing it in a way where like I'm kind of like sneaking it in there and you don't really peep it.
Yeah, that's like those are the Kendricks.
People like ignorant shit, bro. But that shit is fire, bro.
That's why I give like niggas like how you said Kendrick, J. Cole, they credit because it's like they can make a radio song, but it still have like a crazy ass bar in the middle of it. Like, that you wouldn't even think of. Like,
I think that's important too because that stuff isn't like there's people that just pop on a bubble. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like you'll just be like, all right, I have this one song, I get a little hot, and then a year, 2, 3 years later, I'm not even important.
Yeah.
And you got a artist that really comes around, and you could tell like, all right, he's well crafted, put a lot of time and work into his product, and by the time he reached that level of like that pinnacle of success, like he's ready for it, and he's already like, that's why I like a rapper like Larry June right now. He getting mad love, and he's always been a rapper that was good to me. Fucking Freddie Gibbs, he's always been good to me. You feel me? But it's just like it takes those rappers maybe like a longer journey, because like they'll have a strong fan base, and it takes that like the mainstream mindset is like everything is quick. We want the next thing that we could care about for 2 seconds. But rap people like that, they here to stay. So I think once they do get on, they just reach that level.
Yeah, their music is just, it's by word of mouth rather than radio. Facts type of thing.
I also saw him perform live one time. Misfit.
Oh, where?
Yeah. Remember you had it was a while ago, a couple years ago. You had a little like art show.
Oh, my birthday thing. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And he performed. He's actually a really good performer, very active and live. So
you guys doing another one soon?
What happened?
You guys planning another one?
Yeah, we was gonna do one, but the whole obviously COVID shit. So definitely next year, like 100%.
We've been trying to plan one too.
Oh, for
real?
Yeah. I would say def do it.
It's
It's a great outcome. Great outcome. Very like great networking, all of that. Like, and it's dope because when we do stuff like that, we won't just have music artists. Like, we'll have people perform, people hang up their artwork, whether you paint, draw, photography, people sell their clothes, like whatever. So it's just everybody gets a piece of the pie, pretty much.
Yeah. That's we're thinking along the same lines, but that shit is definitely fire because you create a space where people are just in their natural element. So if I'm kind of like somewhere where I don't really want to be, I'm not gonna gravitate to everything that's going on. You feel me? But if I love pictures, I love photography, I love paint, I love artistry, I love everything about this. I'm gonna walk around, I'm gonna talk to people, because I'm just within my element. Yeah. And you put a bunch of creatives in the same space, and something's gonna get created. Yeah. So I always thought that was dope.
Cool. So the next portion we wanted to talk about, and we'll have you get more into. I know when we spoke, you said you work on a really new project that I love. I thought it was dope.
Yeah. So I really don't have a name for it, a technical name, but I'm calling it Unknown right now. Yeah. I might stick with it because of the meaning behind it, but pretty much what the project is about, it's going to be a film project, my first film project. My first project that I'm actually going to be like releasing a book. Like I want to put it on Amazon, all of that. And pretty much how I explained to you is that it's going to be a black and white film project and me photographing like kind of the hood and us black people pretty much, and just to show like the significance, the beauty of us, our culture, the environment, what we do on an everyday basis, how we just operate, everything like that. Because I feel like, say if somebody that's like comes from a whole different like environment than we did growing up, and they hop in a car with you and like, yo, where we're going? You tell them, oh, we're going to the hood. They're gonna be scared as shit. But it's like, why do you automatically have to be scared as shit to go to the hood? Because it's like, yeah, it's the hood because of maybe the violence that goes on, the low poverty, things like that. But it's like, when you go out there, sometimes it'd be so much love that like you wouldn't even feel like you in the hood at the time. And it's like, we make that. Like it's like, it's not just the environment as in like buildings and stores and stuff like that. It's us as a people. Yeah. So pretty much just to show the beauty behind that. And I'm putting it in black and white so that way you can focus more on the picture itself rather than the colors that I may put into the photograph.
That's tough. Yeah. You should. Don't be afraid of the hood people. Be afraid of the trenches.
Yeah. Of course, I'm not gonna say there's not certain areas you should go to. Like, of course, there's areas that you just really should not go to. But it's just like, just how we just have cookouts and big ass picnics and like how we just be like outside sitting on chairs and baskets and how everybody goes to that one corner store where Poppy be at, where Mommy be at, or like whatever. Like just small shit like that, bro.
Where for episode 30, we went to a museum and there was a section where it was all, like modern black stuff. You got photography, you got pictures of people tying do-rags, you got people braiding hair, you have...
That's pretty much the direction I'm going in.
More urban art because it conveys a different message. And I think people now, especially with the landscape the world is in. Unfortunately, there is a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of racism and all that stuff. And those aren't things that are going to subside anytime soon. But there is a bubble of people that for the first time, like their eyes are open to different things.
Yeah.
So they're more, you know, the same way a person, like if they're trying to figure out about Spain, they're going to engulf themselves into that culture. They're going to try to figure things out. They're going to try to, you know, a person might watch a documentary and they might want to see an artist like you, like, all right, this is a series of where he's from and this is what it's like there, just for further understanding so they can understand the culture and really what people come from. Because I think that's the main difference between, you know, what we have going on and what other, you know, groups of people have going on, is that within like black people and within like colored people, just all types of different colored people, like there's really a beautiful culture and like a network of things that go on. Like, you know, within the black culture, you have certain things. Within the Spanish culture, you have certain things. Like we like Jay's talked about before, like going to a bodega, going to a corner store. Some people don't know what that is. At all. They don't have corner stores. They don't have, you feel me? So it's like you being able to walk in and me be able to leave, you know, middle school and like I could grab a bag of chips and a drink on consignment because I give Poppy whatever at the end of the week. Like that's tough, but a lot of people just don't understand what that is. You feel me?
And it's like I feel like we share a lot of love amongst ourselves because no funny shit, but like, ever was like in a situation to where like ran into another black person and you be like, you know what, I'm gonna help this nigga out because he black. Yeah. Like on some funny shit, but it's like you low key really like only helping him because like he come from where you come from or she come from where you come from. So it's like I feel like that's the main focus of what I'm doing right now.
I found that funny because I remember in high school I used to take visits to school. So I took a visit to Boston College, and my dad, he's pretty like Chris knows my dad. Like my dad's a really smart man, and he's just like he kind of serious, and then he's playful, but he wasn't talking to anybody, like no parents and stuff. As soon as he saw black parents, like hello, and as soon as he saw a black guy, he's like, my man. He's like,
what's going on?
How you feeling about the school? What position your son play? Like he just started talking. I was like, yo, my dad didn't talk to nobody for 40 minutes, bro.
That's how
like,
it be.
That shit is crazy because it's just you feel that like it's just that's gonna be the first thing that's connected. You feel me?
Yeah, you feel mad comfortable.
So, what made you realize that people weren't seeing the beauty of it? Like, what made you realize that?
A couple of things, honestly. I started reading more often, to be honest with you, this year. So right now I'm reading a book called Art and Fear. And it's pretty much a book that tells you that you don't, when it comes to being a creative, whatever you do, you don't always have to follow the technical things. Just do what you do. If you mess up, make a mistake, it's a lesson rather than a loss. Stuff like that. Then another thing that inspired it was I'm reading this other book. It's called Black. It's like a big, huge photo book, and it's basically like how you were saying, like it's a book of just black modern culture and art, just different types of photographs. And then there's another YouTuber that I watch, a black film photographer from Detroit, and when I mean like the hood in Detroit, like 8 Mile type shit. So and in his photography he photographs like guns, like drug dealers, people holding guns, stuff like that, just like hood stuff, and he literally makes a living off of that type of art and where he's from. So it's like, damn, like he made that shit look beautiful, so I know I could do the same exact thing.
That's important that you say that, because a lot of people do feel like there's so many restaurateurs, bro, that's successful, that have 5-star restaurants that never went to fucking, a cooking school. They never went to culinary arts school or anything like that. There's people that looked back at Basquiat's work at the time and they were somewhat famous, and they're like, oh, this isn't art. This is someone scribbling all over a piece of paper, and his art has sold for 10 times, 20 times the amount that theirs ever will. So it's just like, it takes that person to be, that martyr. Like maybe I don't go the traditional route. I do it this way. You feel me? It's like we watch basketball, right? Brandon Jennings. He's like, I ain't going to college. I'm a go play overseas for a year. Started that. You feel me? Like it's always gonna be a person that just finds a way to do something different.
That's what makes you like the black sheep. I feel like
that's what, and that goes back to the quote you said about the Nipsey quote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to push the grain to progress. Because if you just keep doing the same thing everyone else is doing, then nothing changes.
Yeah, exactly.
But so at the same time, it's like, I think a lot about that is what's the balance though? Because I feel like sometimes people try to go against the grain so much that they don't end up making it, because it's like you didn't do anything that breeds success. You kept trying to do your own route, but you didn't try to take the lessons and principles from successful people before you.
Yeah.
So like, how do you, for yourself, how do you find the balance between, okay, I'm releasing my own creative expression, I'm still gonna do the things that successful photographers do?
I try to just keep telling myself like, yo, always be yourself, even just outside of photography and art. Just always be yourself. 100%. But you do have to understand that there are always unwritten rules in life to certain ways how you do shit. Like, say if like I'm editing something a certain way, like somebody would tell me like, yeah, that's wrong, but to me, like, it might be right. But then again, like, if I go back to the technical aspect of it, of how to do something correctly, and that works better, or that's how it's supposed to work, I'm not gonna be ignorant and be like, nah, I'm gonna do it my way. Nah, I'm gonna do it that way. If I find out it's better, if it's better, if my way is easier and better, then I'm gonna do it that way. So it's hard. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's very hard to keep a balance. But you know, if you stay focused to it and train yourself, you gonna keep that balance.
That's something that Lay, you know, she be talking about. Just stand on it. You feel me? Like, whoever you are, don't you feel me? Don't budge that for anything.
Nah, not at all.
That's important.
That's why I fuck with the guy from YouTube I was just telling you about, because he really, that's where he from. That's what he do. That's what he like. He stand on it.
Yeah. I feel like we have our own inspirations, and like we should follow like our own dreams and goals. And that's why I feel like that's why we were talking about earlier with the distractions. Like we're looking at so many other different things, and there's nothing wrong with, like, you know, we all have like I said, inspirations, and sometimes they're other people's work, and that's what sometimes even gets us to do our work. But there's also the little things like in our environment that are different, that we've seen or we've experienced, that not necessarily everybody else has seen. So I feel like that goes into your creativity.
And like with that stuff, I like to think about, it's like, I know, like for myself, I like to think in principles. Like I'm my own self. Like, even like the way I do things is like I do it the way Christian wants to do, but I don't ever violate a principle. You feel me? Like, I could do something real simple, like gravity. You can do what you want, but you can't go against the law of gravity. Like, that's it. You know, you could work how you want to work, but like for me, I wake up really early, and it's because I work in finance. A lot of people who work in finance wake up early, right? I could be this person and say, okay, I'm going to be a night owl and work more, because they wake up early to work more hours. That's a principle, work more hours. But in finance, you wake up early because at nighttime, everything's closed. So you actually can't. So I can't just say, okay, I'm going to work, principles, work as much hours as you can, but it's not, I'm going to do it my own way and work night. It's like, bro, you can't work night. The markets aren't even open. Right. So if you're going to, so I think you have to keep a balance of,
Dow Jones sleep.
Do what you want to do, but like, you can't violate the principles of something. Like, whatever you want to do, I think life has principles. Certain arts has principles. And that's the main thing. Like, I think everything has a balance between art and science. Yeah. Sciences are facts. Just, they're observations, they're facts and natures, but everything also has an art. Even in business, like, you could be a businessman and just try to follow the numbers, and there's an art to business as well. There's a brand, there's a culture, there's management styles. Like, that's the art of it. That is going to change from company to company, person to person. Like, your leadership style isn't going to be the same as my leadership style, but a principle is, to be successful, we have to be good leaders. Right. That's a principle. You can't overcome that. Right. You know what I mean? And you could get the science of it, do the work, but you have to merge both of them. And I feel like sometimes people get so caught up in the art of it.
Repeat that.
I don't even know what I said.
You got to merge both.
Or you have to merge both. Because I feel like some people get so caught up in the science, they lose the art. They're like, no, this is what you got to do. This is how you do it. Like, it's like, no, man, there's an art to this. And then some people get so caught up in the art, they forget the science. Yeah. And it's like, no, bro, like, life is both, like yin and yang. Like, you have to bring both of them together. And that's how you get people who get major success, in my opinion. They're super successful. It's like, yeah, man, they did their own route, but they still know the principles of success. They still know the principles of life.
But, Lay, what you just said, even though you feel like, you know, you draw inspiration from different places, do you feel like sometimes, even though that's the case, you could still hit a block from where you're getting inspired from?
Yeah, because I feel like we all go through like stagnant periods, and then those stagnant periods, that's when we bust out and grow, and then that's where we shed. Yeah, okay. That's my whole process. Yeah. So like we hit a roadblock or like there's something that's huge. We like work through it. Boom, shedding period. You come out a whole different person.
You ever heard of the, what's the proper term? It's like the goal loop. So Ray Dalio made it up. He's just like a billionaire. He like mentored P. Diddy and everything. He has this loop where you set a goal. You start, it's going to go in a loop. You set a goal. You start to achieve the goal. As you're working to achieve the goal, you realize you don't have the skill set. So you're not good enough to get the goal happen. You evaluate why you're not good enough to get the goal happen. You accomplish the goal. Then you do it all over again. Then you do it all over again.
No, seriously.
And you do it all over again. Like he calls it I think it's called the goal loop. And it's like you're saying, like you try to do something, you can't do it, shed your skin. Oh, you got better, you could do it. Now go to the next level and you keep doing it over and over.
Gotta figure it out, bro. Tory Lanez tried to rap. Niggas wasn't fucking with that. He popped out with the R&B. They went right back to rapping. Stop playing with that, boy. You feel me?
I think some people still aren't a fan of Tory Lanez.
That's whatever, man.
Yeah,
Tory can rap,
His
bro.
case coming up.
Tory can rap. I've been bumping Tory since
let's
2014. Tory can rap, bro.
Did you hear his album?
Yeah, I did.
I heard a couple singles, but
Tory's tough.
let's talk about him now because once his case starts, he's gonna be Voldemort. We can't talk about this nigga.
I mean, his last album he just put out, that 80s music, great project, yo. And his Playboy album before
talented.
that.
Like
He
his
definitely
music's
talented.
so tough. His
He's very
R&B,
versatile. I could say.
Yeah,
I
like
think it's something in the Canadian water. They're all like that, bro. They're all versatile, bro. They're all The Weeknd, Justin Bieber,
Party next
Drake,
door.
Party next. What can't they do?
Roy Woods.
Roy
Roy
what
Woods.
can't they
yeah,
do?
that's very true.
What's going on in that? Canada trying to take over hip hop.
Uh huh.
I
Right.
want to go to Canada. We gotta go to Canada.
I want to go
I've
to
never been.
Toronto.
They
I've
have
never
bungee
been.
jumping.
I want to see
That's
the
like-
embassy.
A new thing.
I'm not fucking with the bungee jumping.
Nah,
That's
I'm not
another
them.
thing.
Like,
Bro, she keeps leading with this bungee jump.
No
shit.
bungee jumping, no
Yeah.
jumping out no
Wait,
plane.
so guys,
I want to do that. I want to jump out of a plane. No, Jay? You wouldn't do a plane?
No.
You wouldn't do
Jace, really?
I'll do the plane with you, like.
Yeah.
I'll do the
thanks.
plane with you.
Okay. We gotta set that up.
In
That
order
gotta
to
be a
feel like
thing.
I'm alive, I need to almost die.
Did you hear Will Smith's story? How
No.
he forced his father-in-law to do to jump out of a plane, and he finally landed. You're supposed to cheer for him. They ran up on him. He was passed out.
Oh shit.
He was older. He was asleep. They had to take him to the hospital. He passed out. He passed out in midair. Like,
Come jump out this fucking plane.
You're gonna have a heart attack. You jump out this plane.
yeah.
That
Wait,
shit-
guys. So I'm reading Will Smith's book, and it is so good.
Word?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
think
tough.
you guys would really enjoy it. Like,
Yeah,
it's really like he's talking to you. It gets really personal. It's not like anything people would expect it to be yet. And I'm pretty like deep into the book. And he like really talks about like his personal life and like where he came from. And I think that shit is really special.
That's my brother's guru. I'm getting
Which
that
one?
for
All I
Elmore.
need to know is in the song.
And he like explains why that that thing is in like why he's at a basketball court and all of that
Yeah.
like in his book. It's really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Specifically about
Yeah, about like
Interest?
he talks specifically about that song and why it was on the basketball court. And I'm not gonna tell you guys. Y'all should go
No,
read the book.
I'm getting that shit for my brother for Christmas, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna take it from
Well,
him.
he's in it.
I'm gonna take it.
Why would you say that?
He's not listening to this whole episode for Christmas.
That's
That
true.
sounds like next week or some shit. I'll be alright. Oh no, the surprise is ruined. He doesn't want it now.
You also didn't say what brother.
Huh?
You also didn't say what brother.
I won't be an asshole. But,
Wait, can I ask you one question about your project?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I do got one too. So,
You want to go first?
now you go first.
Alright. So you said you're shooting on film.
Yeah.
Why the choice to shoot it on actual film
Uh-huh.
rather than digitally, and then just turn it black and white?
So, all right. So I started off as a digital photographer. Like, if I want to put like, I don't want to say that's my label, but because now I shoot both. I just started film not even a year ago, probably like in March, and it's just I don't know. Like I'm only 25, but I'm a very old soul. So like I guess I fuck with the nostalgic feeling of film, and to finally feel like what people were doing, like when our parents are like our age taking pictures or even younger, like it's just I guess it kind of puts like an extra emphasis on the project itself because our roots are so deep and go back so far in time. So it's like the fact that time has to do with nostalgia is just I don't know. For me, it just goes together. I feel like it's just more perfect.
It feels more like tangible.
Yeah.
It's like it's real.
It's like I was gonna do it in digital. I took some samples in digital, and then I did like a sample photo shoot in film. And it's like I was like, nah, the film
Worlds
got it.
apart.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, the film got it.
This is random, I know, but
I like it.
did you guys know that when people were developing film, there was like a disease specific to photographers from being in the red room?
Really?
Yeah.
The lights or
Like the lights,
The
believe
lights,
chemicals.
it did something to, I think the lights and the chemicals, but I'm pretty
The
sure
chemicals is
it was like a
strong-ass
retina.
chemicals.
It was like a retina thing. I can imagine
Oh,
being in a red room for that long is probably not
Yeah.
good.
And when I tell you the red room is red, like
It's scary.
red.
You look at your hand,
Yeah.
like that.
It's
That's probably what
red.
hell feels
Yeah.
like.
Like that's a bright ass light.
Like, that
bro.
looks
I'm not gonna
crazy.
lie. It's a
What was
red.
your-
What?
What was your question?
Uh-huh.
Look at your hand.
Yeah, like it looks
You
crazy.
See the mic again, if you're not catching me. My question to you is, if you had any advice for somebody who is at home right now,
Uh-huh.
who is scared to make the leap and to go into their passion,
Ooh.
what would it be?
So
He said, I'm gonna repeat it on the mic. He said, when you DM women,
that's not what he said.
Hey, yo.
Lou said, you gonna say what he said?
yeah, no, he said, he said, what advice do you have for people at home?
This shit is a marathon, not a race. Really, like it's. I've been shooting. I first picked up a camera when I was 17. I'm 25, and I felt like my shit just started. Like the people noticing me, people supporting me heavy, like doing podcasts like this, being a guest on people's stuff, selling my art. I'd have never thought I was selling my art like years ago or even picked up a camera. So it's like I feel like a lot of people don't dive into what they want to do because they have that fear of, oh, I'm about to do this, and people want to be good so bad, like up front, that like they be like they'll do it for 6 months. Like people not really fucking with it right now. I'm gonna just stop.
Yeah.
So what you just gotta understand, it takes time to get to where you want to get to.
You see,
Yeah.
he's from Garfield. This man is from Garfield.
Jesus.
This is what's so special.
And the
We
episode
all
right now.
we all
Right.
think like this.
It's over.
First, I used to work with Jay.
First off, y'all got some weird ass niggas from over here. Don't do that.
Right.
You gonna claim everybody?
I'm claiming him.
So right now, no, you said we. Lay.
Yep.
He Mr.
Yeah,
Absolution over here.
we-
He said we all.
Hold
right?
on.
Yep.
Lou had
Okay.
something you wanted to say. What you say, Lou?
I was gonna say I used to work with him.
Yeah.
And I always told him that I love this work, because to me, I felt like that could be like in the background of a phone,
Yeah.
little shit like that. I was always a fan of your work.
I appreciate
And,
that. Yeah, he used to tell me that all the time. So that's crazy.
I put this some dumb shit, in my opinion, that they didn't keep them. And there was people that
What if they?
worked-
What if they
worked
hear
less.
this?
Huh?
What if they hear this?
Oh, it's true. I mean, that's what it is.
Hmm?
There was people doing less than what you did, and they kept up. So it was just crazy.
Yeah.
I guess that everything happens for a reason. This is probably what you're meant to be doing.
It's a
Mhm.
gem.
That probably you would have been.
Yeah. Might have been stuck there, not happy,
Exactly.
whatever the case may be. No,
That's
respect.
Journey with puzzle pieces.
your Infinity Stone. Bow. And when you snap, be getting all you lame niggas out of here, man. You feel me?
I'm gonna own that
Well,
shit.
we good to rap? Anybody got anything else?
I just want to say, man, I'm just so happy, bro. I'm so happy you could be here. I'm so happy we
Yeah.
could do this. So happy that you could let the people know like who you are, what Visionary Shooters is about, what
Oh, yeah,
like,
no, for
this is
sure.
amazing, man.
So yeah, like I said, Holy Prophecy, Visionary Shooters. Visionary Shooters is my brand. The reason why it's Visionary Shooters, real quick, is pretty much that. Say if all four of us, right now, I put that cup in the middle of that table.
Mhm.
I say, yo, we all gonna take a picture of this cup. However y'all want to take the picture of the cup, right?
Yeah.
I promise y'all, none of our pictures are gonna look the same. Why? We all have a vision of how we perceive things that are in front of us.
Yeah.
So it's like people like, oh, I'm not a photographer, but I feel like everybody's their own shooter.
Mm.
In a way, they have their own vision, pretty much. And then the Holy Prophecy is it's pretty simple. Just you a prophet, and what you do, you believe in what you do. You gonna believe in that. What you love to do is gonna happen, pretty much. And I think as just men in general, everybody in the group, that's just what we're all about in life. Period.
Yeah.
Just being about what we talk about, and then how you said, like, just stand on your shit.
Yeah.
Stand on it, and just you gonna get there.
Stand on it. Tea's coming soon.
Yes,
Look out for
sir.
that.
Garfield, baby.
Nah, you were a great guest.
I appreciate that. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
y'all for
It's our
letting
first
me
time
slide,
meeting, but we
too.
do know some people that are like common because I
Yeah.
have seen your stuff posted before. So it was definitely great meeting you. Fantastic conversation.
Yeah, man. If y'all don't already
Good guy
know,
in my
at
book.
JI_views.
Yeah,
Yeah, plug all
Everybody,
that
yeah.
stuff.
Say it, plug everybody.
I got you. At JI_views on all social media platforms. Song of the week, CallMeMisfit on all platforms. His Instagram is _ordinary. We got at Suki Charles, at Stay Ambitious, at Visionary Bar, at CBS Photos, at Money Shots Official, at Rude Boy Dre. It's a lot of us, bro.
Yeah,
at
see,
Maverick,
question.
Yeah, Dre and
Yeah,
I have a
everybody.
question.
Yeah.
I ask him this all the time. Did you
No,
practice
he
that?
didn't
What?
Did you practice knowing
Always
everybody's name? Like
said
knowing
what?
everybody's at name? Did you practice?
Nah, it's just
Thank you.
those are my everyday niggas. So it's like, you know everybody's at names. You know everybody's. I don't know. It's
I
just-
do that every week. Chris be like, you gotta practice that
You
shit.
practicing that shit.
Every time I want to send a DM, I see your names.
Yeah, that's you peep. Like when you go on social media or just whatever, most of the time your closest friends are the first ones.
Yeah.
Like,
See, I'm amazed by it. I think this is a talent both of you guys have because I can't do that.
Yes, you can.
It's 2021, bro. We exist digitally as much as we do in the physical. You gotta know both names.
I'm gonna introduce you once. Like, yo, this is CB.Lopez.
what's the name earlier? You said double C.
Double CC. CC, pop that shit. Get us out of here, man.
Pop the college. Oh, Lay, come on, Lay didn't give her adios either.
Oh, well, thank you for coming.
Like said, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Like when everybody was talking, I kind of said thank you. I know he heard me because
Nah.
I've been saying little
Lay was
shit
in her
back
head.
here
Lay was in her
and
head like,
Lay down thing like this. She was like,
like,
but
you
yeah,
be
feel
hearing
me?
over
Yeah,
here.
I be hearing
know,
you.
Yeah,
I got you. I appreciate the love.
yeah.
Always.
You know, it's always love.
Follow those social medias. Like
sí,
you said.
sí. Gracias para mi ciudad. Mi ciudad Garfield es la mejor ciudad en el mundo. Te aprecio todas las personas que viven aquí. Y gracias por todo. So, y
Colin Chris Wild.
that's it. My city's the best, man. As you can see. I don't know what Hackensack got going on.
I'm not from Hackensack, so shout out to Hackensack. They're real niggas, real niggas reside. You feel me? But we from Paterson and all that. But yeah, follow everybody on their social medias. Like he said, follow at Alicia Ashley. Was she available? Like a secret drop? I think she is.
Not available.
No,
She's
I'm
not,
not.
'cause I just
No,
said
I'm
it,
back.
I ain't fine.
No, I am
She
back.
back.
She's
She
back?
back.
Yeah,
She back.
I am
Took a
back.
Like 5 seconds ago?
No, like yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's back.
Feel me?
Yo, you been fine?
At CB.Lopez.
Is there an underscore in there?
No.
There's no underscore.
At maybe on Twitter, but at J Sway and at Young Lou 24
Gang.
YLP. Shit.
You already-
All that. Follow me at __ Demigod _ follow us at the Demigod Chronicles _ and on Twitter at the DGC _
Yeah.
once again, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. You know, we back. We better than ever.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we got some vlogs. We got a lot of shit to get up before the year out. So be ready for some content because we got a lot of shit coming your way. Yeah, tune in next time. We out of here.
You did.
Look, all I wanted is a kid. Was to watch a couple rings. Couldn't tell you about the bigger purpose. Niggas swear I didn't know a thing. Long before I ever witnessed serpents, when the sense was lurking in my brain, dripping purple like the rain. Rip my clothes, I hide the stains. Witness flowing, then I changed. I dreamt of a chain. This shit is a shame, cause today is a game to remain free. Shit.